Which is the best EV stock to buy? Tesla, NIO, Lucid, or Rivian? I'm going to answer that question in this video, comparing those four stocks on four different metrics, starting with revenue growth. So let's get right into it. So Tesla's revenue growth out of the four is the slowest at 37.24%, but it's further along in its process of ramping up production and sales. NIO is the second slowest revenue grower at 45.96%, but like Tesla, NIO is also further along in ramping up production. The younger companies, or the ones just now ramping up production, Lucid and Rivian, are really growing revenue rapidly. Lucid in its most recent quarter grew revenue at 876%. Meanwhile, Rivian grew at 1,130% year over year, and it's because they're still in the infancy of their growth stage. They're still ramping up, and you can expect these two companies to continue growing revenue at these rapid clips for a couple more quarters at the least, because they're comparing with the previous year where they had slower production. Longer term, however, once they ramp up scale and they get to these levels where Tesla and NIO is at in terms of production, I don't think that they will grow much faster or even at the same rate of Tesla will or NIO will. The next metric I wanted to look at is gross profit margin, and this is important in my opinion because it demonstrates the difference between Tesla and everybody else. If you look at Tesla's gross profit margin at 25.6%, it's way ahead of everyone else. NIO at 10.6% is the next closest, and Lucid and Rivian are way behind, negative 170%, negative 188%. They haven't even reached the scale yet where they're making a positive gross profit on the sale of each car. And there is no guarantee that they will ever get there. And look at NIO was ramping up, increasing its gross profit margin, and then it kind of flatlined and is coming back down, showing the difficulty of getting your gross profit margin up to these 25% levels that Tesla is at. So really impressive gross profit margins for Tesla, and the other EV companies, NIO, Lucid, Rivian, and the ones I haven't even mentioned in this video, they all aspire to get to the level Tesla is at, which in my opinion is not achievable. I don't think any of the other EV companies will reach this gross profit margin. In fact, I don't think Tesla can sustain this 25% gross profit margin either. I think competition is going to erode Tesla's gross profit margin, and it's going to come back down into the teens in the next couple of years. In the teens in the next couple of years. The next metric I wanted to look at was the operating profit margin over the trailing 12 months. And again, in this metric, Tesla shows its advantage. Its operating profit margin of 16.98% is the only one that's positive in the other among the four. NIO is the next closest at negative 31%, and the others are way behind, negative 400 and negative 400%. And there is no telling, like with the gross margins, if they were ever get to the point where they turn positive in terms of profitability. It's a difficult thing to run a car company at a profit. These are expensive, difficult, complicated things to do, and it shouldn't be taken as a given. Finally, the last thing I will compare these four companies on is their valuation. And I had to use the price to sales ratio because to put them all on equal footing, because the others are not cash flow positive and they're not profitable like Tesla is. So looking at this metric, Tesla's at a price to sales of 8.291, NIO at 2.150, Rivian at 9.6, and Lucid, the most expensive, at 24.86. So if I had to choose one of these four EV stocks to buy right now,
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
I would choose Tesla. It's furthest along in ramping up production, it's demonstrated profitability and expansion in the gross profit margin, while the others are still trying to achieve what Tesla has achieved. So that's the one I would go with. Tesla is the best stock to buy. As always, thank you for watching. I know you could be watching many other things, but you chose to watch this video. I appreciate that. And if you like this one, I'm going to link you to more videos at the end of this one that I think you might enjoy. So click on one of those and I'll see you there.